Hello? Someone there?
Oh. I'm sorry, madam. We don't open for lunch on Sunday. We'll be serving afternoon tea, though.
Mr. Roper?
Yes.
I called this morning about the position as functions manager.
Oh, of course. Miss Fenwick?
Ferguson. Miss Joan Ferguson.
I see. Have you worked in the trade before?
Oh, nothing as intimate as this.
Well, you certainly appear to be capable, if one can go by looks.
Thank you.
How about dealing with the public?
Oh, I've dealt with all types, effectively.
Well, here, you'd be required to greet people, seat them, handle any little dramas that might arise. The whole ambience of the room would depend largely on yourself.
Oh, I'm aware of that. I've dined here.
Oh. And you would have seen Joanna in action. She's left to open a place of her own, taking quite a few of my customers. I aim to get them back.
Well, that's why I'm here.
I'll show you around. Oh, don't be put off by our chef. He cooks like an angel, but he's as mad as a hatter. He once chased Joanna right through the room with a meat cleaver on Cup Eve.
Maybe that's why she left.
Well, I suspect it to take a smidgen more than that to faze you.
You're a sharp judge of character, Mr. Roper.
Call me Harold.
Thank you, Mr. Roper. I'm sure I'll enjoy working here.
Yes, I wonder. References. Do you have any with you?
Oh, no, not with me. I can provide them, of course. I just thought today would be a discussion about job requirements.
I see.
I don't really put much faith in them, do you? I'd prefer to show you what I can do. You said you're open for afternoon tea?
And dinner, yes.
Well, I'll give you a trial run if you like.
Oh.
Thank you. Now, let me see. The Chelsea buns are off. The strawberry Danish is on.
And superb.
I'll make sure they know. Oops, here we go. Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
For 3?
Yes.
I think we might be able to squeeze you in. This way. Perhaps I could recommend the strawberry Danish. Everything satisfactory?
So much so, we're thinking of staying for dinner.
Ah, now that's the sort of decision that really should be made over cocktails.
Excellent. Yes, thank you.
Excuse me. For 1?
Yes.
This way, please.
That is my usual table.
Oh, did you book?
I'd hardly make a booking for afternoon tea, but that is my usual table.
I'm sorry, but as you can see, it's occupied.
Oh, then I'll wait. They've almost finished.
They're staying on for dinner. I'm sure you'll be quite comfortable here.
Oh, and I'm sure I won't. Where's the young lady who's usually here?
She left.
Pity. Then I'll speak to the manager.
He's unavailable.
Well, that table is too close to the wall for a start. Let me see the cake trolley. Is that all you've got?
Mrs. Wilson, she is so difficult.
I don't see why you put up with it.
This tea is stone cold.
Especially as you have a choice. I'm sorry.
My tea is cold.
I'll have the waiter get some fresh.
Oh, and no apology.
Madam, you have been sitting there reading and eating for the past 20 minutes and not touched your tea. How do you expect it to be hot?
Because I am accustomed to a certain level of service and will not accept anything less, that's all. Oh, and inform the manager that that rum and walnut cake was dry.
Oh, what a pity you didn't mention that before you wolfed down 3 chunks of it.
I've never been spoken to like that before.
Then I can only assume that you don't get out very often, which is probably a great relief for everyone.
Get the manager.
I cannot do that, Mrs. Wilson, because he, like everyone else, spends his time avoiding you.
Oh, you rude, insolent creature. Oh,
You what?
oh, I'll see to it that you are fired.
I'll bet I'm not the first person you've had thrown out of a job.
Oh, indeed you are not.
Well, then, on their behalf, as well as my own, get out.
Please,
What?
please.
Get my bag. Do it. You out.
Oh, you wouldn't.
Wouldn't I?
This is absolute an outrage. Insufferable.
And you, if you wish me to work for you full time, you have my phone number. Bon appetit. Wonderful, isn't it? We have all these anti-discrimination laws, but not one relating to a former occupation.
Pardon me?
Anyone would think I was an ex-con. Seems that anyone involved with the penal system is an employment risk. Perhaps I should have said I was a dole bludger.
I'm sure there are other areas more suited to your talent.
Oh, do you have any suggestions?
Good luck.
Thank you. For nothing.
All finished?
Oh, yes.
You do realise if you join us here as Central Security, it will naturally involve shift work.
Oh, I'm used to that.
I see you've been trained in the use of firearms.
Well, some years ago, but with yearly refresher courses.
Excellent. Well, as I said before, there is only one vacancy and we have 3 applicants. It's up to the manager, of course, but I should be able to let you know by tomorrow. When could you start?
Oh, tomorrow.
Good.
Susan, could you come in here for a moment?
You're right there.
Yes?
I see we have a female applicant for the job.
Yes, pity really. Her credentials are excellent. But most of our clients prefer male guards.
I want to know more about her.
Such as?
Why she wants to work here. Why she's left her old job. If in fact she has.
You're the boss.
Yes, I am.
Joan Ferguson's on extended leave from Wentworth Prison, but she's still officially an employee of the Department of Corrective Services.
Good work, Susan. She can start tomorrow.
But the male applicants have got experience in the job. And Ferguson could toss it in any time she likes and go back to her old job.
Well, we'll just have to make sure she enjoys it here, won't we?
Okay, I'll get Max to show her the ropes.
No, don't do that. I have some special duties in mind for Miss Ferguson. You just see she's here tomorrow.
All right.
I'll get it.
Staff room, Meg Morris. Yes, of course. Just one moment. Joan Ferguson.
Now, what can she want?
Yes, Miss Ferguson. I see. Well, it's your decision, of course. Well, yes, there will be some paperwork. Whenever you like. Goodbye.
Well, I think she just resigned.
Resigned? Joan Ferguson? I don't believe it.
It's true. She said she's found new employment and she'll send a written resignation.
Simpson. Cleaning duties in the corridor.
Well, they had to find out sometime.
Hey, someone! Anyone, Ricky? What's the next best thing to getting out of here? The freaks quit! We've got rid of the freak! Can you hear me, anybody? Can you hear me? She's quit! The freaks quit!
Stop that noise at once! What the hell's going on?
Have you heard? She's gone. She's not coming back ever.
Who's gone? Tell me or you go on a charge for disorderly behaviour.
Freak! Oh, I mean Miss Ferguson. She's quit. I've got to tell Kat.
This is your desk?
Oh, it's a bit of a mess.
Oh, we had a few clients in last night. You'll find the kitchen out the back.
Beg your pardon?
And we expect morning tea around 10.
Oh, and you expect me to get it?
Yes.
Miss Lewis, I thought my position here was as a security officer, not a tea lady.
The boss believes in everyone starting at the bottom.
Stupid girl, haven't you got any brains? Oh.
You finished yet, Miss Ferguson?
Well, if you mean that lot, there's at least a month's work there. But I have collated all the new client
I
inquiry
can't put
calls.
these
and I-
to the boss.
Well, look, that girl just
You're
put
not
the...
a very good typist, are you?
This thing's out of the arc.
I'm sorry, they'll have to be done again.
Central Security. Just hold the line, would you? Central Security. Where is everybody?
Miss Lewis, these reports are not nearly detailed enough. I'm not a mind reader. Tell Miss Ferguson they have to be done again, and properly this time, if she's capable of it, of course.
Okay, boss. It's time you and I had this out. Face to face.
She's on her way in.
Look, you don't know me. My name is Joan Ferguson, and I applied here for a position as security officer, a position I was asked to fill. But since I arrived here this morning, I have been everything from General Dog's Body to a tea lady. Now, if you don't want a security officer, that's fine. Get yourself a tea lady. But with my qualifications, I don't need this job and I don't want it.
You may regret that, Miss Ferguson. It's been a long time. Freak.
This place has got to be a front for something, Beecham. You couldn't go legit if they paid you. I'll find out what it is and you'll be back in Wentworth in a week.
You won't find out anything because this place is legit. I'm the managing director and I'm legit. Security is just the other side of the fence for a good crim.
I don't believe it.
And in case you're thinking of spreading the word around about my past, don't bother. Everyone knows. It's part of my sales pitch. It takes a thief to catch a thief. It's clever, don't you think?
All right, you've had your fun. But unlike when I was your boss, I can walk out of here now.
And straight back to Wentworth? If they'd have you, since you've resigned.
There are other jobs, Beecham.
Not for you, freak. I'm a respected member of the community now. That means friends, influence. I put the word out, you're finished. No one's going to give you a job, not in this city. And it doesn't take long for word to get interstate.
No one takes the word of a crim.
Have fun finding out. Are you sure I can't give you a reference?
Joan Ferguson.
Oh, Miss Ferguson. Damien Mortimer from Hampton Limited.
Yes, Mr. Mortimer.
Look, I'm sorry we couldn't get back to you earlier. We had a long list of applicants, but I'm happy to say that you're our choice for the position.
Oh, that's wonderful.
We think so too, Miss Ferguson. You're just what we need here at Hampton.
Tell me, Mr. Mortimer, Hampton Limited, is that in any way connected with Centaur Security?
No, we're an independent company.
Miss Beecham is managing director there.
I'm sorry, I don't know her. Look, Miss Ferguson, you're not having second thoughts, are you? Because if so, we'd need to know immediately.
Oh, no, not at all. I want the position. It's just that I almost took a job with them, but I'm glad I changed my mind.
To our advantage, Miss Ferguson. Look, is it possible for you to come in today to discuss salary and conditions?
Oh, yes. Say 2 o'clock?
2 o'clock would be fine.
Thank you. I'll see you then. Bye.
Susie, Jim here. Ferguson's at Hampton Limited right now. Got the job this morning. Come to talk to a Damien Mortimer. What's that? No worries. Tell Willie I'll see you later.
Oh, you certainly work in pleasant surroundings.
Well, we like it.
Thank you.
You've got your job description there, haven't you? Yes, good. Well, just the run-of-the-mill duties of any office manager, really.
Oh, I don't see any problems.
Minimising running costs, that'll be your main objective. Oh, excuse me. Mortimer? Yes? Yes? Of course. I understand. Yes, thank you.
Problems?
There could have been, Miss Ferguson, but fortunately there's still some honesty in this world. You told me you turned down a job with Centaur.
Well, that's not quite true.
It's far from true, Miss Ferguson. The truth is that they dispensed with your services and you were foolish enough to ask for a reference. Well, that was it. They just phoned it through.
Any point in denying that I asked for a reference? I mean, why would
Sorry, I think it would be best if you just left.
Right. Wouldn't you try thinking for yourself sometime? Or do you leave all that to your secretary? Oh, yes. Could I speak to Mr. Daly, please? Mr. Daly, my name is Joan Ferguson. I'm ringing with regard to the position you advertised this morning. It can't be filled already. I see. Thank you. Yes, this is Joan Ferguson speaking. Put me through to the minister, please. I see. And you tell him I called the minute he gets back? Joan Ferguson. Thank you. Put me through to the minister, please. Joan Ferguson calling. The minister was busy all day yesterday. The minister has been busy all morning. Now, you tell the minister if he can't come to the phone, then I shall come down to his office and sit outside his door until he's not busy. All day, if it's necessary. Thank you.
Miss Ferguson, good to hear from you. How are you?
Minister, thought you might have time for an old friend.
Quite right. What can I do for you?
Rather not discuss it on the phone. When may I see you?
Oh, you couldn't have picked a worse time. We're flat out at the moment.
Yes. I realise it's an election year. I also realise that the press are always interested in what the minister and the department are up to. Now and in the past.
I don't quite get your gist, Miss Ferguson.
As I said, Minister, there are some things better not discussed over the phone. Now, when may I see you? 3 o'clock this afternoon?
No, don't come to the office. I won't be here, but I have to go out this morning. Why don't I call by and see you? Perhaps we could have a cup of tea together?
And talk over old times? The kettle will be boiling, Minister. Goodbye. An ex-con by the name of Willie Beecham. She's suddenly got a lot of power in this town. I've been applying for positions and she's blocked every one of them. I want her stopped.
Well, there's the Equal Opportunities Board at the Ombudsman. Several legal avenues you could explore.
That could take years and you know it.
I don't know what you expect me to do.
You have the resources to find out who her contacts are. You could undermine her power in a day.
I can't have my name and position associated with ex-prisoners and or ex-prison officers.
Then have one of your lackeys do it for you.
I don't think so, Ferguson.
If you don't like veiled threats over the phone wire, you're going to like even less what the gutter press say about you when I've talked to them.
You're playing a dangerous game.
We always have, Minister.
Now, judging by this, you've made yourself quite an enemy.
Well, she was just another crim at Wentworth. I didn't treat her any differently.
Beecham obviously doesn't see it that way. She's taken it personally.
I don't care about her feelings. Can she back up her threats?
Well, if it was only Willie Beecham, I'd say it was a lot of hot air, but she spends her nights with Max Galtieri.
Never heard of him.
With the money he spends to keep his name out of the papers, I'm not surprised.
Can't you put pressure on him?
We are talking about one of the richest and most powerful men in the city. He looks after his friends, but he's not the sort of man you cross.
Oh, he's just another criminal, for God's sake.
Some of his friends could have me out of this job with a 10-second phone call.
Well, then get Beecham and keep your name out of it. For God's sake, she's an ex-con in charge of a security firm. Surely your department can handle that.
The department can't be seen harassing reformed criminals. The media would crucify me.
And if I tell them everything I know about you, they'll crucify you anyway.
Don't you threaten me, Ferguson. Just take my advice and go back to Wentworth.
Oh, come on, I'd be a laughing stock. I can't go back there.
Doesn't have to be forever. Give it 6 months, Beecham will probably have forgotten all about you. You don't have any alternative.
Why does she want to come back? She said she'd never work with me again.
She must have had a change of heart.
I doubt it. Joan's always made her attitude to my reforms perfectly clear.
Well, you can't expect all your officers to agree with you all the time, Mrs. Reynolds.
No, but I insist on loyalty and support.
I'm sure you'll get them.
If I do, it'll be the first time. I am trying to make Wentworth a modern, humane institution.
I understand your misgivings, but you're both professionals. I'm sure you'll work this out between you.
Wentworth is not the only prison in the state, Mr. Dwyer.
I'm afraid you don't have any say in this. Miss Ferguson withdrew her resignation, and I'm returning her to a former post.
If she comes back, she will be so closely supervised she won't know whether she's an officer or a prisoner.
Well, it's up to you to manage your officers the way you think best.
The smallest transgressions will go on her record. I've given her the benefit of the doubt in the past, but that is over.
Very sensible. I do exactly the same thing myself. Well, you can expect her later this afternoon. Oh, and thank you for your cooperation. Well, you're in, but you might have been better off against Beecham.
I can handle Reynolds. There's just one more favour, though, before we're through.
You've used up all your favours.
Now, you listen to me, Dwyer. I lost my job and you came out of it smelling like a rose because I shut up about you. Now, just one more small favour, or we might both be looking for work.
This is the last time.
Joan Ferguson's coming back. I tried to tell Dwyer I wouldn't have her, but he made it very clear I've got no choice.
So we're stuck with her again.
And that's not all. He phoned me back with this list of prisoners. They're to be transferred as soon as the paperwork's through.
Rita Connor.
They've all got one thing in common.
They've all had a run-in with Joan.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Pringle.
Oh, could you sign in and wait over there till I'm finished, please?
Presume the governor told you about my return?
Yes, she did. And I'd be lying if I said I was pleased about it. Now, could you open your bag and stand away from the counter, please?
Why the sudden interest in security? Or did the governor put you up to it?
No, I'm just doing my job. Nothing more, nothing less. And I won't be intimidated. Now, if you think you can come back here and ride roughshod over me or anyone else, you've got another thing coming. I've tried to be friendly to you over the years while we've worked together, but I won't be made a fool of again.
I'm sure I'll survive, Mrs. Pringle. You just do your job to the best of your abilities, and I'll do mine. Oh, how's Mr. Pringle?
How dare they?
The governor said to go straight through when you arrived.
Sounds like she's got her hands full already. Seems nothing has changed.
Come in. Why do you want this job back?
Oh, I just happened to be talking to the minister, and he seemed to think
You
it was
made
a
it
good
perfectly
idea.
clear what you thought of the job, and me, for that matter, when you resigned. It's a rather sudden change of heart.
I believe I have a lot to offer the job.
Then I wish you'd offer it to some other prison. You didn't have the guts to approach me about coming back. You had to go sneaking off to the minister to get reinstated.
Really must object to your
I've worked
attitude.
with you for too long, Joan. It's obvious I don't want you back. But since you have some mysterious influence over Dwyer, I don't have much choice but to put up with you.
Well, thank you for your welcome.
And I've had enough of your sarcasm. I'm warning you, the first time you step out of line, you'll be on report, and I'll take it as far as I have to get you sacked.
Yes, Governor. Did the minister by any chance mention anything about transfers for prisoners?
Yes, and I'll be fighting every one of them. I am the governor of this prison, and I decide who will get transferred. You can report to the duty officer to find out where you're rostered. That'll be all.
Good afternoon, ladies.
It was until now.
Still as friendly as ever, eh, Connors? I thought you'd be glad to see me back.
Pigs.
What about you, Simpson? Did you miss me? McPherson? What about you, Marsh? Now, you'd have been too stoned to notice I'd gone. Oh, I'm disappointed.
What are you doing here?
You women need discipline. The department thinks I'm the one to do it. So they asked me back. I'm going to make sure they're not disappointed.
Not so fast, Ferguson. We're not going to let you stand all over us again. Things have been going just fine without you, and if you want war, that's what we're going to do.
I look forward to it.
You don't sit down and shut up, I'll dong you.
That'd get you right out of here, wouldn't it, Jenkins?
Ferguson, what are you doing here?
Now, this is their idea of a prison. What a joke.
There's nothing wrong with treating us like human beings, is there?
In your case, Jenkins, yes. You break the law, you deserve to be punished. Not have the taxpayers' money wasted on you.
We're being real careful not to break nothing.
Not possible, Dimmock. As soon as the novelty wears off, you'll wreck this like everything else. I can't see it lasting. You should be in a cell like this one. You don't deserve any better. What are you doing here, Simpson?
Waiting for you. I've got a proposition to put to you.
Oh, I don't listen to propositions from scum.
Oh, but you'll
you.
like this one, Miss Ferguson, because you hate Connors' guts just as much as I do.
Simpson?
Somebody's got to get to her, and soon she's got Reno eaten out of the palm of her hand.
What makes you think you're the one to do it?
Because I got something to her, something she cares a real lot about. But she's going to be as mad as a bull when she finds out, and I'm not going to be much of a match for her if she decides to have a go at me.
So it's protection you want?
Yes, please, Miss Ferguson. Us girls have got to have some sort of hold over her. She's making our lives hell.
Yeah, well, the odds wouldn't be very even, would they, if it came to a fight between the two of you? All right, I'll make sure I'm around when she's released from the infirmary. Get back to the rec room.
Thanks, Miss Ferguson. You won't regret it, I promise.
Well, good evening, Joan.
Evening.
How does it feel to be back?
The same as it always did.
Even swap, no sweat.
No deals. I want my photos and I want them now, otherwise you'll be doing the sweat.
Yeah, well, you get your bloody photos when I get my key.
What makes you think it is your key? It belongs to everybody, and your days of making money out of it are over.
Since when?
You give me my photos or I'll tear you apart.
Well, I'll tear your photos apart if you so much as lay a hand on me.
You give me my photos.
Where are they?
You're on a charge. You can cool off in solitary.
I don't care. They're all I've got left after you and the system got through with them. I've got to fight for them. I'll go to solitary, but you make her give them back to me.
You sure saved my life.
Shut up. Give me a key. Come on, give me the key.
Stuff about the key, but you make her give me my photos back.
I thought I was a real god at that.
You are, Simpson. You all are. I apologise for bringing you back, but you did leave instructions that you were to be called if there was trouble. Quite remarkable, isn't it? My first shift back, I find a key that the women have obviously been using for some time. Simpson and Connors having a go at each other. You could just as easily have had another Wentworth scandal on your hands.
I'm glad you're so alert, Miss Ferguson. Then you've had plenty of experience with Wentworth scandals, haven't you? Where's Connors now?
She's in the infirmary. She collapsed after the fight.
She should never have been allowed out in the first place.
You can't keep her there forever. Surely even you must realise that a transfer for both of them is the only answer.
Don't try to bulldoze me. I'll make my own decisions in my own time.
Oh, well, if you want to make a fool of yourself, I won't try and stop you.
Would you please bring in Simpson now?
You used me. We had a deal.
I don't make deals with the likes of you.
But you said you'd protect me.
Yeah, but you weren't upfront about why you wanted protection, were you?
Yeah, well, I was going to tell you about the key just as soon as I got it back.
Oh.
Well, I couldn't lag, could I?
You know, I've seen a lot of scum come and go through this place, Simpson. But you... Ugh, come on.
I'm leaving now, Miss Ferguson. The transfer papers for Rose Simpson have been signed and Barn has been notified. The car will be here to pick her up at 9 a.m. tomorrow.
I see.
Connors is to stay in the infirmary until I have the results of her tests.
Which will prove that there is absolutely nothing wrong with her.
I don't like your tone, Miss Ferguson.
And I don't like your methods, Governor.
Then perhaps I could arrange a transfer for you, too.
Oh, I think Mr. Dwyer might have something to say about that.
No one could deny that you are a competent officer of the old school, but I am achieving reforms in this prison, and they can only succeed if I have the cooperation of all my staff.
Save your speeches. Sick of them and I'm sick of you.
The feeling is mutual.
And I don't even want your job anymore.
Miss Ferguson, this has gone
You
far
know
enough.
that Connors is as guilty as Simpson. She's been nothing but trouble since she got here. Now, suddenly, she can do no wrong.
I have perfectly valid reasons for my decisions.
Does your barky boyfriend have anything to do with them? Sorry. I should have said your ex-bikey boyfriend. Decided to take the day off, have we, Connors?
I don't know about you, but yeah, I thought I might take it easy today.
Oh, I see. It's your birthday, eh? You should have told me. We could have had a party.
Didn't you get your invitation?
You're on report, Connors. Get back to work.
Why don't you get back to work? There must be someone who still wets himself every time you shoot your mouth off.
Get up or you'll be in the
Hands
pound.
off me or so help me, you'll swallow this.
You are way out of line, Connors.
Yes, and while I'm out there, you might learn some manners. Like, for a start, you don't treat me like a piece of crap under my feet, and you don't come barging in here like you own the place. Come on, Ferguson, I'm waiting for you. Show me just how tough you are.
Something wrong, Miss Ferguson?
Connors has gone berserk. I need assistance to get her to the pound.
That won't be necessary.
It was a clear case of assault.
Did she strike you?
She pushed me out of her cell. If I had been foolish enough to go back in there, God
I'm
knows
glad
what...
you didn't provoke her any further.
I want her on the first bus out of here to a maximum security
I'm
facility.
sorry, I
You
haven't
can
had a
save
chance
your
to-
apologies for the minister. I'm going to enjoy watching you pussyfoot your way out of this
Will
one.
you just listen to me for a minute? Rita is very ill.
Oh, what's she trying to put over you this time? If I had 10 cents
She
for every...
has cancer. The doctor thinks she has 4 or 5 months at the most.
It's terminal.
There is treatment, but the success rate is negligible. She's asked to stay here, so I think a little tolerance... would be
Allowing
in
her to stay here is the worst thing you could do.
I'm not going to argue
I'm not
about
just talking about paperwork to dispose of a body. Connors has got influence. Those women will turn her into a martyr.
The women might also join together to support her, and I hope you'll do the same.
I'm not allowing myself to become a target for some crim who's got nothing to lose.
You know what I expect, and you'll see to it that my wishes are carried out. That's all, Miss Ferguson.
I would suggest that it would be in our best interests if this were kept from the other women.
It's a very good idea. Thank you for the suggestion. Now, if you don't have any other questions on how to handle your job, I suggest you get on with it.
You know what this makes me think?
Shouldn't you two be at dinner?
I thought I told you not to come barging in here.
Oh, Miss Ferguson, if you've got a problem, perhaps we could go outside and sort it out.
It's a social call, Jenkins. I want to talk to Connors alone.
I like it right where I am.
The governor told me about your problem.
I bet the screws are running a book on how long I'll last.
She knows?
Or who I'll take with me when I go.
That attitude isn't going to help you at all.
Dead people don't spend much time thinking about attitudes.
Don't play tough with me, Connors. I can see right through you.
Then you can tell what I want you to do right now.
I admire your guts. But don't waste them causing trouble. You're going to need all the courage you can get.
What was that all about?
Maybe the freak's got a heart of gold after all.
Yeah. Or she's scared stupid she's going to hit the fan.
Sounds like a pretty healthy bet each way to me.
Maxwell, come with me. You're moving in with Mullins. You can shift your stuff before lunch.
I'm not having her in with me.
You'll do as you're told and like it.
Like hello, well, no way.
That suits me just fine.
Too good for us, are you, Maxwell?
Never learn, will you?
Yeah, we're not going to be nice to you just because Rita
I
thinks
still
that.
owe you one.
Oh, Maxwell, you can come too, Mullins. I'm sure your cellmate would appreciate a hand moving her things.
Get stuffed, freak.
Oh, Mullins. You won't have to share in solitary. I'm sure that'll make you happy.
Get stuffed, freak!
Looks like solitary's going to be a bit crowded tonight, freak.
Won't work, ladies. Been there before and it just won't work. You'll get loss of privileges, extra time on your sentences. And they're only the legal punishments. Lots of other ways and means. And I'll use every one of them.
You just try it. You're not a bloody army.
Get stuff, freak!
We did it! We beat the freak!
Yeah. But for how long?
I have to talk to you. It's urgent.
Can't it wait?
No, it's out-and-out rebellion. Practically a riot in H Block. I want the guilty parties sent to solitary. Loss of privileges for 6 weeks and all standing remissions to be cancelled.
It's rather harsh punishment. What are the charges?
Refusing to obey an officer, threatening an officer, insolence towards an officer with use of foul language.
And your witness?
I was the only officer present.
Miss Ferguson, I have warned you before about bringing forward charges without the corroborating evidence of another officer. Now, if, as you say, there was danger of...
Of course there was. Do you think I'm making it up?
Please don't raise your voice to me. I'm well aware of your tactics in baiting the women. You probably went too far this time and they retaliated.
It's your reforms that have done this.
That for the time being, you don't go amongst the women without an accompanying officer. That way there'll be a witness to any further rebellion, as you call it, and also to any baiting that may occur. Now, I really must go.
I will be formally requesting charges in my daily report.
And as I said, if you have the corroborating evidence of another officer, you may have a case.
Excuse me, Miss Ferguson.
What do you want?
Today's the day we usually get given our phone money. I'm absolutely skinned. I want to ring me mum. I was wondering, are we going to be getting it as usual? Our phone money.
Money will be distributed, as usual.
1, 2, 3. Mother called a freak.
Stop that! Thank God lunch is over.
You realise we're going to have a riot?
I wouldn't go that far.
I would. People get hurt in a riot. Could be you, especially if you've picked the wrong partner.
No, thanks. It's obvious it's you the women are after. Being your partner wouldn't be such a wise move.
Forgetting a few things, aren't you?
Such as?
Lisa Mullins.
Yeah, well, that would have worked once, but not anymore. You can't dob me in without implicating yourself, and I don't think you'd do that.
Oh, there are ways. Now, if we stick together and back one another up
Let's face it, Miss Ferguson, you've lost it. You shouldn't have come back. The women know you're working on a bluff. If it was me, I'd be getting out while the going's good.
I've been down before, Adams. I'll get back on top.
Yeah. Yeah, well, none of us are as young as we used to be.
Shut up and walk.
Yes, Miss Ferguson.
I don't have to, Johnny!
For instance, Miss Ferguson came to me just before lunch with a complaint about group insubordination in H Block. Has anyone else been the victim or aware of similar behaviour?
Well, their discipline was certainly lacking at lunchtime and in the afternoon rec period.
Oh,
too.
I don't think it was a problem, Mr. Adams. They were just being a little high-spirited. They seemed to fall into line quite quickly when I had a word with them.
You wanted to say something about this afternoon?
Well, just that they were a little high-spirited this afternoon, but they did seem to fall into line.
Well, that's very good to hear. If the women start being selective about who they're going to obey, the ones they choose to ignore may as well hand in their notice. Now, Miss...
Sheila? Anybody here St. Bradley? I said, is anybody St. Bradley? Smash!
Turn up the telly, will you, lads? Can't hear with all this chatter.
We want you to ask us to...
Oh, that's great. Thanks, lads. Hey, what do you reckon about the guy on the left?
He rushes inside, smooth talks the receptionist out of a lipstick, then goes and writes on the bonnet of this car, mind you. Don't bloody park here again.
I didn't.
And then later in the afternoon, he finds a crowd gathered around this car. So he goes over thinking the owner might be there and he can give him a piece of his mind. And who should be standing there but his boss? No! Yes, his boss had bought a new car, picked it up at lunchtime and not told anyone.
But I don't know, you youngsters, you need spoon feeding all the time. Here.
That was under P.
I always put it under P. Do the bag search for me, would you? Reception? Yes, Governor.
Wentworth Detention
42.
Centre. Good day, Tony.
No, I'm
How are you?
positive.
No, mate, you
A
just
block
missed it by
has
a couple of
39.
minutes.
I can check it if you like.
Yeah, sure.
Only take a moment.
About 4:15, quarter to
Right.
5. Yeah, all right, I'll do that.
Who was that?
message for Officer Hagan. Nothing
Oh,
important.
nothing important, right. Have you checked those cell blocks?
Well, where are they now?
Undersea, of course.
This place kind of makes me chatty.
Didn't yesterday.
Well, every day's a new day. You know what really gets up my nose about all this? All the chances I had that I blew. All the extra beers I could have sunk. The guys I could have had. The bikes I could have rode. The money I could have had. You think I'm joking? So humour me a little. How much do you think I'm joking about? Look at your bloody magazine. How much do you think I'm talking about?
I don't know. Tell me.
$250,000. I know where it is and where to get it. There's nothing much to stop me now. You imagine it. $250,000. You interested?